And welcome to this edition of the Coach Kerry Johnson Sports Show. Join me, Coach Kerry Johnson. Coach, a big win over an old rival on Thursday night.
Yeah, it's always good to beat Hogeye, no doubt about it. And the good thing about this is we got a lot of places we can improve on.
We'll take a look at that game, plus we'll look ahead to this week's Oneida game, a game that could be a future rivalry game. We'll talk about that when we come back.
For more than a century, Union Bank has been serving the people of Fentress County. Now, as we begin a new chapter in our history of service, we want to take this opportunity to reassure you that while our building may be new, we're still the same friendly people you have known for years. Union Bank, the same people, the same goals, and the same commitment to you. Union Bank, your locally owned hometown bank for more than a century, growing to meet your needs. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Back here on the Coach Kerry Johnson Sports Show. And, Coach, your guys offensively, you looked pretty good the other night. You still had a little trouble running the ball.
Yes, we got to shore up some things in the offensive line a little bit, and we have to be able to run inside some, and we didn't the other night at all. We had to rely on just athletic ability and speed to create some big plays for us the other night, and hopefully we can shore up that. And we've talked about it. Imagine what we can do if we really execute up there in the front. What we can do offensively.
Coach, your defense was able to hold Livingston to a few touchdowns, but for the most part, they did a pretty decent job able to stop that pass of Livingston.
I think Livingston did a good job of keeping us off the field. We only had 38 offensive plays. We only had, I think, 40 the week before, so we've got to do a better job of getting our defense has got to get off the field on third down, and we're not doing that. And that's so we got to work on that.
Coach, you had to be really happy with your special teams. They scored one touchdown, set up another, and you had all your extra points. I mean, they had an outstanding night.
Well, special teams, that's one thing we emphasize. We probably spent more time this year on special teams than we have any time that I've been as a coach, period. We spend 30 minutes a day on those alone, and usually sometimes you used to maybe give 1 day a week on that. So because we know we got some threats back there that can take it to the house and use it in offensive plays, and also covering kicks. We want to get down the field and pin those guys back on kicks, and we did a really good job on punts and kickoffs for the most part as well, obviously, as our kickoff return.
Coach, you said you wanted to get off to a quick start on Thursday night. You said you'd take the ball if you won the coin toss. You took the ball, and Barger got you started off real quick.
Hit that seam, and it opens up there. I mean, like I said, if you can hit it right, it's those middle returns. A lot of times the guys, opponents don't want to cover those lanes like they should sometimes on middle returns, and a lot of times there are spots in there you can hit and take it if the guy returning will hit it.
And, Coach, it seemed as though Livingston kind of, especially after late in the fourth quarter, they seemed to be like you the week before with Monterey. They just seemed a little defeated.
Yeah, well, we like I said, it was, you got to give them a lot of credit. They played one of their best games that we've seen them play, but at the same time, we made a lot of mistakes offensively around our offensive line that are easily correctable. And so I'm hoping that we can do that this week and be ready to go get after Oneida.
Coach, talk about the injury situation you have right now.
Injuries, I think we pretty much got everybody should be healthy this week as far as being able to go. We got a couple, ankle issues that they'll be taped, and that's once you have an injury like that in football, you're going to have it all year. You guys just got to suck it up and deal with it. That's not going to go away till the season's over. So it's going to be that little nagging thing, and you just got to get used to playing with it. Most of our guys are pretty good to go, I think, right now.
Coach, this was a big win. Now, of course, they gave you a COVID win for the Jackson County, but it's good to pick up that win on the field, right?
Yes, the COVID win doesn't mean a lot. I mean, we would rather have played that game. But this is one we's on the field, and hopefully this is going to start us and give us a little bit of momentum coming into just a huge region game this week.
Well, the Dragons do have their second region matchup, I should say, coming up this week, and it's a huge game. We'll explain why right after this.
For more than a century, Union Bank has been serving the people of Fentress County. Now, as we begin a new chapter in our history of service, we want to take this opportunity to reassure you that while our building may be new, we're still the same friendly people you have known for years. Union Bank, the same people, the same goals, and the same commitment to you. Union Bank, your locally owned hometown bank for more than a century, growing to meet your needs. Equal Housing Lender, member FDIC.
Back here on Coach, take a look at Oneida. What do you expect from Oneida?
Well, they're going to be Oneida is always they're going to be fundamentally sound in everything they do. They're always going to be well coached. Their players are going to play their assignments and do what they're supposed to do. They're not going to make a lot of those type of mistakes, mental mistakes, and we've got to match that and not turn the ball over. And no penalties. I mean, that's our biggest issue is we cannot have penalties and play behind the sticks. And we did that a couple of times the other night. We kind of got lucky and got out of that situation a couple of times. But that's the main thing we do. If we can take care of the ball and not have penalties, I think we will be fine on pretty much on whoever we go up against.
Coach, if anybody remembers Oneida from a couple of years ago under Coach Lambert, they were just pin their ears back and punch you in the mouth. Any different? You do expect anything different this time around?
They have a lot of the same assistants. The coaches that are there, a lot of the assistants were under Lambert, and they play very similar. They may throw the ball a little bit more than they did under Coach Lambert, but I think that if we can just play our assignments, both offensively and defensively, I think we'll be fine. But we have to don't worry about what the other 10 guys are doing. Worry about what you're doing.
Offensively, what do you got to do to shut them down?
Offensively or defensively?
Obviously, to put points on the board.
Well, I said we need to shore up things up front, and if we do that, I think we will be fine. We have, we obviously show that we've got some good athletes and speed and can get us the seam. We can take balls to the end zone, and we're moving a few guys around this week offensively, and like I said, and we're going to look at changing some guys around in the offensive line too. But I think we're going to be fine.
Defensively, what you got to do to shut them down?
That's where we got to play. We got to do your assignments. If you go and control the A gap, you control the A gap. Don't worry about if your guy, next to you is not doing his. We'll take care of that later. But just do your assignment, and don't run into the backfield. If you're a defensive end, you got to squeeze down if the guy blocks down. Just basic little things. We can't leave gaps for those guys to run in.
Coach, I'm sure Oneida's seen films of the other night's game. They're going to be ready for that special teams you got. And I look for them to kick maybe some short stuff and keep it away from Barger and Stover.
Yeah, I'm sure they will try to kick it away from those guys as much as possible. But, that's if you look at the two guys up in front of them, they have ability to take it back as well. So it's kind of hard. We got enough guys out there that it's hard to keep it away from some of those guys.
Coach, as far as Oneida's team, take a look at some numbers of some players we need to watch for.
Well, as far as numbers go, they're hard to see on film, to be honest with you. Numbers, I think their quarterback is 4 or 5, and they play a couple different guys. One of them is a big guy, one's kind of a small guy. They have a power game that they run a lot, and they like to spread out. And most of the time, most of the teams in high school like to spread out, but they still keep it on the ground a lot. They have a really good athlete out there at receiver. He's a tall, athletic kid, and they have a big lineman that's possibly a D1 prospect up there. I think he's number 73, if I'm not mistaken, remembering him as best I can. Big guy, you won't be able to miss him. But they got some good size. I think we got the speed on them, so maybe we can showcase that a little bit.
Coach, a win means you're in the playoffs because you only need one win in this district. But for you guys to host a playoff game at the end and we end up one of those top 2 spots, this is pretty much have to win.
Yeah, it's a must. I mean, that's what I told these guys. I said, this keeps you a chance to host a game, and if you lose it and you make the playoffs and you go on the road, you're going to travel 200 miles to the wherever we're going, somewhere in the east over there, to play one of their top 2 teams in that region over there. This is crucial for everything. I told the seniors this is probably the biggest game up to this point that they've played.
And with just a few district games to play, everyone counts.
Yes, so I said we only got 4 district games or region games since you only got 5 teams in it. So I mean, we're already behind the 8 ball. We're 0-1. We got to go out there and take care of business on Friday. That's all there is to it.
And we want a big home crowd because we need that home field advantage, right?
Yep, and this is we're doing something new. We hope to do this every year. It's going to be white out night. We want everybody to wear white to the game. We're selling a T-shirt over there at the school that's got white out Oneida, York versus Oneida, the date. It's got something on the back of it too. It's a pretty cool shirt, and that's where we're trying to push that as well. So we want everybody wearing white when they come to the game. And like I said, the T-shirt will be up there for sale too for $10. It's so
Should be a good night of football.
hopefully, and we can get that W.
Well, Coach, I want to thank you for joining us, and best of luck as you host Oneida this week.
Appreciate it, Gary.
That's going to do it for this edition of the Coach Kerry Johnson Short Sports Show. Be sure to turn out on Friday night as York has got a big region game. It's York and Oneida. Kickoffs at 7. We'll see you there. Till then, for 15104 Sports, I'm Gary Clark. See you at the game.